growing up on a farm, I learnt that you don't throw something out, you fix it. I'm Nick Cummins from Electrogusto. I come from a couple of generations of farmers. The thing that I love about the farming community and farmers is they have this amazing sort of mentality of you've got to rely on what you've got around you to fix a piece of machinery or fix some fencing or doing all that sort of stuff. That sort of instilled in me this sort of passion for doing things up, fixing things, problem solving, and that led on to a love of fixing up old cars. I saw how hard farming was. So I ended up doing a pivot, I suppose, from my grandfather and my father and worked in advertising for 30 years. When I left that last career, my wife said to me, why don't you do something that you love? And it is old cars and it is old motorbikes, but there is also a passion for technology and pushing things forward. And I've often said I sort of accidentally start businesses, and I think sometimes life is like that. You start thinking about something, you start researching it, or you're watching it happening overseas, and then before you know it, you've hired some space and you're hiring people and you're doing it. At Electrogusto, we take classic and vintage cars and we convert them to electric. We call ourselves modern day hot rodders. We take all sorts of different cars. You know, we've worked on Land Rovers, Porsches, Fiats, Citroens, Mini Mokes. They just keep coming in and they're all very different, and each one is a brand new challenge, which I love. In a lot of the cars that we convert, we still have a lot of the original components that we have to restore and make sure that they're performing perfectly. If we're spending all that money reconditioning a gearbox, we want to make sure that we've got the best oil in there. Penrite has always been in the workshop. When I was back on the farm, you know, we use it here because we know it's a really great quality product, but I've grown up with it and I love the fact that it's an Australian family brand. We've helped a couple of customers convert 356 Porsches to electric, and for some people that's like, oh my God, it's a 356 Porsche, what are you doing? But I think it's really exciting for those customers to have the car that they want. Now it's super reliable and they have something that nobody else has really got. They're so fast, there's instant torque, they're silent, and I think for car people, that's a real buzz. We've often seen people that are like, nah, we put them in the car and they step out and they're like, oh my God, that's awesome. Craft is about attention to detail and doing something really, really well. In the old world, it was sort of really sitting down from an artisan point of view and making something. Now we've got all these incredible new technologies, but there's still the same essence of taking the time to do a job properly and making bespoke parts that'll future-proof this car for decades of driving pleasure ahead of us. Carl, one of our clients, has got a Subaru Sherpa. It's super cool. Carl was a Black Hawk helicopter pilot, flying these incredibly huge machines, and now we're doing this, electrifying this tiny little 1980s two-door hatchback. It's going to be an amazing little car, but something that's not really expected, and it's very, very personal.
Oh, Dad would love seeing this back on the road. He was an officer in the days when driving something like this would get you a bit of a disapproving stare from the general and not a very officer-like car.
Right.
And yeah, he'd be just thrilled to see that it's still going after all this time and yeah, seeing it looking so good again now. Oh, it's been a while.
Doing what we do means in 50 years' time, that car won't be sitting in a garage with a blanket over it. It'll still be driving and it'll still be enjoyed by future generations of that family or other people who have passed the car on. Automation is coming, but I think that there will always be people that want to drive. Some people want to get from A to B, and some people love the experience of driving, and more importantly, I believe, they love what a car says about them, whether that's their story or their family or design or what it says about their own personal brands. So I don't think we're ever going to lose cars that people drive, because I think it means too much to people. When I started Electrogusto, I thought it was about reinventing vehicles, but what it's actually done is it's allowed me to reinvent myself.